the hidden benefits of breathing and meditation. We know that the ancient sages created these breathing patterns, and that meditation was only given to those people that were really serious about changing their lives. It was not available to the layperson. You had to prove your commitment to the Guru. You had to show that you trusted his word. You had to stay many years in service. You had to give a lot of yourself. And when the master was sure that this knowledge is not going to be thrown away, this knowledge is not going to be wasted, then you were initiated. It was not something everybody did. So this is the reason in India you found that when they see a yogi or a guru walking, they prostrate themselves, they do namaskar on the streets like that. Because these people are very special. It is not something that's available to everybody, right? And so they understood that doing this changed their lives in certain ways and made them fine-tuned and connected to the source, something that lay people or ordinary people cannot get because they are all at the level of the mind, right? And this whole meditation and breathing and all the stuff that they do is a mystery. It's like a secret, it's something they have. And gurus are venerated and worshipped like gods. But they did have something that was magical. And when this was imparted, it was not imparted with, it goes to the occipital lobe and then it sends a message to the frontal lobe and then through the amygdala it comes out into your venous system and the autonomous immune system and the parasympathetic and the body is supremely complicated, right? No rishi has explained it that way. All they said is that it's good for you, do it. They knew the benefits. Because knowledge is not just the privilege of the 21st century or the 20th century. It is just an understanding, or it is revealed at the right time, with the right effort. So it isn't as if Newton created gravity and just by him saying that there was a law, that the law just came into being. The law always existed. At the right moment, he was chosen for this revelation, for people to understand what it is. You think that people did not know before that if you drop things, they'd magically fall to the ground. But now there was a name for it, that's all. The fact that breathing and meditation is magical it is a fact. Whether you want to accept it, whether you want to believe it, whether you want to practice it, that I cannot decide for you. You have to decide for yourself. And modern medicine is scratching the surface. The research is just beginning. Till this last century, the last 20 years, people that did yoga were laughed at. Yoga was not a thing that, it was this oriental, strange thing that people do. Nobody accepted it. And it's only in this last decade that meditation, because the stress and stress-related diseases have become so prolific, that people have now are trying to understand what is the one thing that can connect all of these illnesses, the high blood pressure, the cholesterol, the high incidence of cancer, the high incidence of immune diseases and polycystic ovarian syndrome and or MS and autism. So many things are happening very recently in the last 20-25 years. And they all are coming under one umbrella with one cause, and that one cause is what they call stress, because actually nobody knows the source of this. No one knows where it comes from. 50 years ago when we were young, we went to doctors, we had a cold, he gave us a tablet for the cold, we took the tablet, we got better, we came home. We went for specific illnesses, and the doctor gave specific medication for that. And then the medicine got even more specific. So there is a doctor for the right finger, and there's a doctor for your left kidney, who won't deal with the right kidney. And I don't know if there is, but it's gotten so specific. But no disease, nothing in your body works independently. There is something that heals. Whether the doctor cuts your knee and puts in a bit of cartilage and tightens the screws. What if nothing happened after that? What would be the condition of your cut knee? It would be bleeding continuously, right? There is a process that takes place in the body of healing, which we don't understand. We have absolutely no idea how it works. And we interfere with that internal healing with the quality of our thoughts. If we simply allow things to be, they heal. They get better. If we try to interfere too much with our modern science and our modern medicine and our wide array of continuous thoughts and continuous eating, we interfere with internal healing. So the last time when we were together, I talked to you about healing the body by giving your digestive system a rest. Right? Why do I keep stressing the importance of breath? And I've been searching for answers. Why is it that in the Shastras it is said that a focus on the exhalation is so important? To lengthen the exhalation is so important. We keep attempting to bring more instead of focusing on inhalation, we have certain breath patterns, and those who have attended the pranayama class with me know what I'm talking about. Why are we focusing on this exhalation? So let me begin to tell you that in our bodies, we have an autonomous nervous system, and this consists of two parts. You have the sympathetic nervous system, and you have the parasympathetic nervous system. And Nadi Shodhana balances these two systems, right? When your sympathetic nervous system is working, all the energy will go to that, and the parasympathetic nervous system will rest. And when the opposite is true, when the other one is working, this will rest. You cannot take the same energy and give it to both. It goes to one or the other. It's just like when you suddenly get up after sleeping, right? All the blood rushes to your feet and you feel a little bit lightheaded, right? You recognize that feeling. You get up suddenly and it happens to you. That's because blood cannot be, it takes a little while for it to adjust. And you feel the blood coming back into your brain and you can think clearly, and for a while you see lights, right? So it's the same principle. Sympathetic nervous system and parasympathetic nervous system. So what do? Your sympathetic nervous system is there to assist you when you are in a very, very stressful situation. Is there a fire? Is there a tiger coming to attack you? Is there a car that's going to be hitting you in another second? Is there somebody that's coming to assault you? A real threat to your body and mind, right? It's that flight or fight response. And that's when the body reacts very strongly with all the adrenaline, the cortisol, and all the other hormones. And I'm not a medical doctor. I know a few of these names, but there's a lot that gets thrown into the body. All at once, your heartbeat increases. Your blood pressure increases because you might require that higher blood pressure to run, to move away, right? So this happens also when you exercise. When you exercise, your body, it thinks it's under stress. And your blood pressure will rise. And if you actually take your blood pressure, it will be much higher than what you're accustomed to. And now we have our smart watches. We can see that our heart rate also increases at that time. Okay. So what is happening there? The body is getting prepared for an emergency. Now, what happens if you're in this continuous state from the time you awaken to the time you go to sleep? There is no threat. There is no threat, but you are in this constant state of alertness from the moment you wake up to the moment you fall asleep. Can you imagine what that is doing to your body? Right? All the time you're in this state of chronic stress. Dealing with it once a day, twice a day is one thing. But from the time there are people that get so tuned into an event or a person that today somebody was mentioning that an email in the morning can trigger the response. Just when that phone pings, oh my God, I've got a text from this person. And the symptoms begin. That person has not said anything, that person is not there. But the feeling is there. So what is your body doing now? It's not doing any healing. It's not doing anything. It's focused on the emergency situation. But when the parasympathetic nervous system kicks in, and I'll tell you when it does, your body rests. It relaxes. It releases. The hormone levels go down. Your heart rate goes down. Your blood pressure comes back to normals. Your blood vessels become narrower. The blood is flowing in your body better. The healing that is needed, old cells that need to be thrown away, new cells that have to be made, happens only when the parasympathetic nervous system is in play. Now, you ask me, how do I turn this on? How do I turn this off? Is it going to happen? Is there any magical way of doing this? And I'm telling you, yes. It happens when you breathe. When you take a breath, a deep breath, and your blood pressure rises, your heart rate will increase. And then as you start exhaling, it'll start coming down. And then everything comes down. And then your body is in a state of rest. And then again you take a deep breath in, and then it goes up. So it's going up and down like a wave all through the day with each breath we take. Now people have become so obese and so fat and not exercising and not doing anything their inhalations, they take a deep breath in and they breathe for say 2 or 3 seconds, 1, 2, 3, and they take an exhalation and they go 1. But because everything is so tight, the need to breathe again is there. So before the breath has come back to normal, gone down, they've taken the next breath. So you're again on the uprise. So again it's sympathetic nervous system. And then they're coming down. And then after 1 count, again it's going. So it's 2, 1, 2, 1. And at this rate, you take 30 breaths a minute. This is the average breath pattern of most Americans. Or most people in the world. People breathe rapidly because when you're working, when you're absorbed in your work or whatever it is you're doing, have you ever stopped to check your breath? No. No. Do we have any meters on available to check your breath? No. Now see how important this is. To get into the exhalation mode so that your body rests. You don't even need to take that 10 minutes that I'm begging you all to do to get your parasympathetic nervous system going. If you don't relax and rest, where is this body going to heal? How is that going to happen? Exhalations are super important. Not only because your metabolic rate goes up, because as you exhale, you get rid of a lot of carbon dioxide that has been built up. If you exhale for 1, say you're doing the 2-1, 2-1 or 3-1, 3-1 count, only that much is going out. So not much is going to be inhaled. Imagine increasing that to 30 seconds. How much more carbon dioxide will you exhale? And on your next inhale, how much more oxygen will the body absorb? So every time you breathe in, the body is not absorbing the right amount of oxygen. It's based on what you exhale. Because it's based on the amount of metabolism that takes place during that in-breath. As you take the breath in, it's going into your lungs, it's filtering out into your blood vessels, it's going to its various... there's a lot happening. There's a lot happening when you breathe. Right? And you exhale for 30 seconds, that means there's a lot of cell changes, a lot of nutrition is being given, a lot of metabolism is taking place, and as a byproduct, a lot of carbon dioxide is going to be produced. And that is given out in the next exhalation. And then you inhale. Now all that carbon dioxide has been given out. Now the body requires more oxygen. We have something in our body called oxidative stress. That means a lack of oxygen. And it doesn't come just from smoking. That of course is a big part of it. It also comes from living in very polluted cities. And many of us, we live in Mexico City, and I've lived in Bombay, and you know how in Delhi the air is polluted. You don't have to do anything. You just have to breathe there to know that you're getting less oxygen anyway. This is where breathing becomes so crucial. The healing takes place during your exhalation. Why won't you pay attention to this? Why won't you breathe? 5 minutes a day, 10 minutes a day, and not only that, right through the day you catch your aha moments. Just during the day, if you have that capacity and that awareness to catch it, and you pay attention to the breath for 2-3 breaths. Introduce 2 or 3 Rechaka breaths there. Long, deep exhalations. You've already broken the chain of thought. The thought that's causing the stress. And you've got your body into a healing mode. Why won't you breathe? When you exercise, when you work out, you're not exhaling more, you're inhaling more. Isn't it true? When you're hot, when you're out of breath, the emphasis goes much more on the inhale than on the exhale. You see, we never pay attention to the importance of this down cycle. And this down cycle, you exhale a lot when you sleep. You yawn and get ready for sleep because your carbon dioxide levels in the body are too much. And you need to get rid of that. You need to increase your oxygen in your body. That's why you go to sleep. And because your mind is not there to interfere with how you breathe, the body does what is needed at that time. It reduces your inhale and increases your exhale. Nice loud snoring. You get all the oxygen you need, and you heal and you repair and you rest and you rejuvenate every time you go to sleep. This is the power of breath. And if you're healing and if you're rejuvenating all through the day, the stress then becomes manageable. You pay attention to your breath. You pay attention to the meditation and to the breathing. The breathing we don't pay attention to during the meditation, but that's another part of your nerve system, system of nerves that you're paying attention. The Shushumna nadis, the nadis that move in your body. It gets better. And a very easy example to understand. I meditate every Wednesday with you. I should feel fine. So if you eat one carrot in all of your life, will your eyes dramatically improve? Or if you eat one piece of fish. I ate fish, nothing happened. I still have high cholesterol. If you walk across tall grass, right, and you walk across it once, the next time, and you look back, the grass would have come back up. Walk across it again and again and again and again, back and forth every single day. Soon there will be a pathway. Your brain is like that. Your brain is like that. It creates pathways depending on what you do. You sit all day and just sit and look at your phone like this all day. Your brain will shut down. Your brain is going to shut down because you haven't activated that part of it that needs the painting, the ceramic making, the walking in the yard, so many other paths to ourselves. You want to create neural pathways, you want to awaken your brain. You have to forge that path in your brain. Then the meditation automatically takes you, boom, you sit down and you hear my voice on a guided meditation saying, sit comfortably with your back straight, and then you're like this. Why? Because you've gone down that path 100 times, 500 times, 1,000 times. I've meditated for now, 15 years. How many years have you meditated for? How many days have you meditated for? How much have you breathed? Why are you questioning that you have, skin cancer, and I've got a stone in my kidney, and I've got this happening and that happening? Where are you letting your body heal? Your body is amazing. It knows how to take care of itself, to get rid of things it doesn't require. You have to just give it that help, that little push start. When you meditate, when you breathe, not only does it push out toxins from your body, it gives you an amazing amount of oxygen which you will never get during your day because you'll be doing this 3-2-4-2 breath. Right? If you've practiced meditation and you know about pranayama, you will be cognizant of breath and have long breaths in, long breaths out, and longer breaths out than your inhales. Only people that know. This is the power of breath. Once you meditate and you continue to meditate, you catch yourself as the stress rises in you. And we all have our stressors. Our daughters-in-law, our sons, our bosses, our mothers-in-law, our, neighbors, somebody who irritates you. We have it, right? We can't help that. We've taught ourselves to have these things in our life. Something in your body, this obsession with your body, or, this I need to lose weight that has been mine for some time. So we have these things. To recognize when it's going beyond and it's causing you stress and harm, and to pull back, that comes only with the light of meditation. People that do not meditate don't recognize what's happening to themselves. So why won't you breathe? Next time there's a workshop, I don't want to hear excuses. Because in that workshop, you're getting the gift of healing, of life. Why won't you do that once in 3 months, once in 6 months? The benefits are just priceless. And if you won't do that, just be mindful of breathing right now. You're breathing anyway. Right? Now pay attention. How are you breathing? Om Namah Shivaya.